Hi everyone, Barry here from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining us for our global stamping video hop. Yes, so today I'm going to be creating a variation of this 3D cube pop-up box card, which has already been created. I've already created a video for this once. And we're going to be doing it again, but we're just going to step it up and make it into another card. So this is the card originally done. Okay, so it's a cube pop-up like so, okay, which is lovely and easy it is. So there's a video for this one already, but I'm going to be making a bigger version, and I'm also going to be changing it up ever so slightly and making it, giving it a slightly different fold or some cuts. So that's what we're going to show you today. Okay, so obviously we are independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, so if you like anything you see us using, you can purchase any of the items via our online shop. So links to that can be found down below in the description, as well as links to the products which we use as well can also be found down below if you'd like to purchase any of these items. Remember, if you do purchase any of the items from us, obviously thank you for that, but also please use the current host code as well, which you can find that over on our website. If you use that current host code when you check out, then you will then be eligible to receive a little free gift from us the following month, just as a little thank you. So obviously it gives us your address, so we can then post you a thank you card, and we just pop something, a little sampler of something in there for you, as well as a little gift for shopping with us. So remember, check that out over on our website. Be sure to put that host code in as well, for a little extra surprise. Okay, so let's crack on, and I will show you how to do this. So the original card is a 4x4, so we're going to make this now a bigger card, and as I said at the beginning, we're going to be doing this slightly different fold. So you're going to need to give yourselves 2 sheets of Whisper White Thick is what you will need for this card. And you're going to then cut this down to 14 centimeters along this side here. 14 centimeters by 29.2 centimeters. Okay, and you'll get like a little strip here. So that's going to be for the main bulk of the card. Okay, then you will then need to cut some more pieces here as well. So you will now need to cut these at 23 centimeters. So I'm going to pop this in here, 23 centimeters. We're going to have a few offcuts here, which you can do some other bits for later on. Okay, and you then want to then cut this at 6.9 centimeters. Okay, it's important that I've gone that little bit smaller because of, so that it doesn't, once everything sticks together, we just need a little bit of breathing room. So you need these ones here, so you need 23 centimeters this way by 6.9, because the squares on the box are a 7x7, but these are the front panels, so which is why I've just taken it down 1 millimeter shorter, so that it closes nicely. Okay, so that's what you need for that one. Obviously we will need our scoring section on this as well. So let's just recap on that one there. You need one piece here which is 14 centimeters by 29.2 centimeters, and you will need 2 pieces here measuring 23 centimeters by 6.9 centimeters. Okay, so 23 and 6.9, that one right there. What you want to do now is you just want to grab your larger piece again, and we want to do some scoring on this. So make sure you put your blade out the way. We want to do some scoring on this. Okay, and we want to score this at 7 centimeters. I will need my long arm out again. 14 centimeters, 21 centimeters, and 28 centimeters. Which then that gives us a little bit of room at the end here, which will be our tab for sticking. Okay, so let's do the scoring on the smaller ones as well now. And what we want to do is we want to score these at 1 centimeter. At 1 centimeter, and I'm just going to turn it round again now and score this now at 8 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and 22 centimeters. Okay, and you want to do that on both of them, so we'll do the 1 centimeter first. And obviously this is one of the great things about this trimmer, is that if you're just if you need to cut or score small things, you can go to 3 centimeters, about 3.5, just under 4 centimeters this side here. So in that way you've got something to hold on to, and then you can then pop it in the correct way when you want to go larger. Okay, so we've done that at 1 centimeter, 8 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and 22 centimeters. Okay, so that's those bits right there. So let's just recap. Scored, so we cut the base down, scored at 7, 14, 21, and 28, and we've scored at 1 centimeter, 8, 15, and 22 centimeters here, and we're doing that twice on those there. Okay, so that's our base part done. Pop the 2 smaller panels to one side for a moment. Now what you want to do is you want to take the larger one here, and we want to cut away 2 7 centimeter squares from the left and the right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in, line it up with 7 centimeters here, and I'm just going to then cut that down to the score line down here. So I've eyeballed it. You can see the cut mark in there. If I bring that up, you can see the cut mark quite nicely, and you can see the score line. So really, really nice, easy to use. And I will do the same for the bottom half. So if I put the blade down to the bottom and mark that up at 7 centimeters down the bottom down here, and then I will then cut up to the score line like that. Okay, so you can see now I've cut up to the score line and up to the score line. Now what I'm going to do is I will now take this in, bring this here again, line this up at 7 centimeters down the bottom down here, and then cut up to that cut line. And then that will then just come away. And we want to do the same for this one right here. So we're going to line the score line up with the cut line there, and then I'm just going to then cut in. And then that slots out quite nicely, like so. All right, so that's those parts done right there. I'm going to grab a little bone folder, and I'm just going to just flatten down these edges, because obviously they've been cut, they sometimes bevel themselves in. So I'm just going to smooth. If you get that problem, you just want to smooth it out. Like so. All right, save these bits for later on, because you will need to cut some bits out of those ones. So that's our card our card base. Okay, so I'm going to now fold all of these and burnish all of these lines. And that's that final little tab, like so. Okay, and that part can actually now get stuck together as well, because we can get this bit ready. Okay, so just stick that together. So you saw how I just stuck that together just then, and then if you hold it flat, and then that way you can manipulate it and then fold it. That's it. There we go, and that's the join. The reason we cut it the way that we did is because if we'd done it normally and we cut away the middle part, the join would have been at the back here and we would have seen it. So the way that we've designed it is the join is down here, which is going to get covered up or won't be seen as much. So that's why we've done it the way that we have. Okay, so that is our first part of the box. With we're gonna actually just create, and we're gonna create some of the attachments to this now. And again, another reason why we designed it this way is because it's quite, the other one is sometimes a little bit tricky because you've got the boxes on there and you need to need to put some tabs in. The way that we've done it this way is everything can kind of be done before we stick it all together. So we just need to do a little bit of decoration first now before we do the tabs. And I've already gone ahead and I've gone and pre-cut some stuff. Okay, so what you will need is you will need 8 grey pieces, so basic grey here. These measure 6.4 centimeters by 6.4, and you need 8 of those. And then you will need some designer series paper, and these measure 5.9 centimeters by 5.9 centimeters. So you will need 8 of those. So 4, and we've got, so you want 4 for the front, and then we've got a back design to go inside, so we've got a coordinator. So we've got 4 which are going to go on the front, and then we're going to have 4 which are going to go on the inside of our cubes. Okay, so that's those ones. And then you need 2 pieces which is going to go at the top right here, and these are going to measure, that's that one there. And then you're going to need some of the top pieces. This is going to measure 6.5 centimeters by 6.5, and then a 6.6. And then we're just going to stick those together. And you will need 2 of these. So pop some glue in that one there. So the grey piece was 6.5 by 6.5, and the designer series paper is 6 by 6 centimeters, and that goes in like so. Because we're going to stick some stuff onto this, so we need to now stick our decoration down first before we do the next part. Otherwise, it won't go. Okay, so we've done that. Let's look at our orientation, which we've got to make sure our food bowls are up correct. So yeah, so one thing I haven't mentioned actually is what set I'm using. So I'm using the Pampered Pets Stamp Set to create this card. So it's all from the Playful Pets suite. So I'm using the designer series paper from the Playful Pets suite. So it's an animal themed card. This one. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, didn't I? Okay. And obviously the colours are inspired because they are the coordinating colours which work with this suite. So that goes in like that. So that's that part decorated in the middle. Okay. And we also want to do the same for this back panel right here. So that is actually going to be the inside of the cards. So I just need to now get my inside parts, which was these ones right here. Okay, because I've gone with a different design for the inside. So I need to stick 2 of these down to start off with for the inside of this card. So we just stick that on like that, and I'll do the same for the other one. There we go. And then these can then get stuck onto these panels right here. Like that, because this is going to be the back of the cubes. And that one in there, so centralise that in. Good, perfect. Right, so what we want to do is you would also want to create yourselves 2 circles. So on this particular one I've used, unfortunately this is no longer available, but I've used a 1-inch circle punch. There are some dies which you can use which will do the same thing, some circle dies or anything which you've got which will create some circles, and that's what you want to do. So you want to cut yourself 2 of these, and we then want to fold these in half. Like so. Okay, and the second one here, just bone fold these just to smooth those creases out. Good. And then what we want to do is we also want to stick a little bit of glue to one side of these. And this is then going to then go up to the score line. So I've gone into the centre, up to the score line like that. And then we would do exactly the same for the other side. So if you've watched the first video we did with this is where the tricky part comes in, because you've got boxes in the way. Okay, but this is a little bit easier. So you could adapt this for the next one as well. And that's going to go in. I'm not going to butt it up directly because I kind of need a little bit of, you need to, because this, depending on the side which you've got the join on, will be the side you want to just have it slightly down from the score line. So in that way the 2 meet up with each other. They're a little bit more flush. Whereas if I bring, because this has got a little bit more height on it, this side, because it's got the join in here, if I take it right up against the score line, I've noticed that this is a little bit higher, therefore it skews the stamped image when it's on it. Okay, so my little tip is put the side which has just got the 1 layer, butt it right up against the score line. On the side where you've then got the join, the way you stuck it together, you just want to come ever so slightly down from the score line, and then the 2 of them then are kind of a bit more flush with each other. That will make sense, because I've noticed that, yeah, whatever side the height is, it tends to lean that side when you've got your stamped image on there. So that's the way I'm gonna counteract that. So a little bit of a tip there for you. Okay, so that's that part ready. A lot easier to do it this way than it is in the original box. So good. So let's just pop that to one side for a moment. What I want to do now is I just want to create myself a tab. All right. So grab yourself one of the pieces from earlier on. All right, and we just want to create now ourselves a tab. So bring yourself back in your trimmer, and we want to cut this down here at 2 centimeters by 14 centimeters. So 2 centimeters strip. By 14 centimeters. Okay, and we want to score this at 2 centimeters. 6 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and 12 centimeters. Okay, so that's our tab created for the inside. So let's just fold and burnish all of these lines. And then we want to then grab our glue. And we now want to pop some glue on the end part here. And on this part right here. Have them tucked in underneath. And we basically, you're going to eyeball this. You're going to find the eyeball where the center of this is. And we are going to then just pop that in the center of that score line. So you could, if you want to, you can grab a pencil and you can find exactly where the center is, but I'm just going to eyeball it, and that's going to go in there. So we've now stuck those 2 tabs down to either side right here. Okay, so that has now created our pieces which we can then stick our stamped images to, because when this now comes up, we've now got ourselves a flat edge to stick onto and a flat edge to stick onto here as well. Okay, so good. So let's do some more decoration. We're going to take the pieces which we cut earlier on. So these are the 6.9 by 23 centimeters, the ones which we've already scored there at 1, 8, 15 and 22. Okay, and we're now just going to fold and burnish all of these. And then we're going to stick our pattern paper onto these first before we stick it onto the card. Okay, so these basically are going to stick in and tab itself around. So we want to pop the designer series paper on the front panel here and on the top panel. So which is, as we're looking at it, if I pop, is that one and that one right there. Okay, so that's going in like that. So, and you want to do that for both of these. So we grab the other one in as well. We will just fold and burnish these lines, and then we will stick the designer series paper to this before we stick it on, because I think it's just a bit easier. So again, I'm just going to lay it out flat, and we're going to put some paper here and here. Okay, so this is the front paper, so this is the outside, so this is the pattern which we're going to use for this one right here. So we need 2 and 4, and also we need 4 grey ones as well. So let's just stick all of these on for the time being. And then we can then stick these, and we can stick these down. Okay, so again, just think about how this is going to go. So as that's tucked in around the back, this is that's going to go up. So just make sure, think about especially if you've got a design which the orientation is specific, just be aware of that before you stick it down. Otherwise you'll stick it down, then put it all together and then realise that everything's upside down and it's done. And I'm talking from experience on that one. So just think about that before you stick down. Throughout the month of June in 2020, if you join us at the moment, you can get a bundle free of charge. So not only can you pick £130 of a product for only £99, you can then also pick yourself another bundle, so a stamp set and dies or a stamp set and punch, absolutely free of charge. So if you like the Pampered Pets Stamp Set and dies and you want to get it free of charge, then join our team. Contact us to find out more. You can go over to our website as well. Links down below for joining our team is down below as well. And you can actually earn this one free of charge. So bargain. You don't get that in the craft stores. They don't give you nearly sort of like you potentially £60-70 off a product free of charge. All right, so that's something definitely worth looking into at the month of June, throughout the month of June. So we've only got a little bit longer to go. We've only got about a week, just over a week and a half to go, and then the offer is finished. So be sure to check that one out, join our team and get yourself and obviously not only that, you'll get future discount. You'll get at least a 20% discount for 3 months. So on anything else which you purchase, which is amazing. So the inside parts are going to be, we've already done one inside part, so the next inside part is going to be this one right here. So again, if we just have a little look at how these are, flip those over, and it's going to be that one right there, which is going to be the inside panel. So we'll just take our other bits, which we've got from earlier, and just stick these patterns down onto our grey. I'm just loving this set. I think the paper is beautiful. The stamp set is lovely. It comes with coordinating dies as well, so you haven't got to fussy cut the animals out. And some of the dies will even coordinate with the pattern paper as well, so which is great. I have actually already pre-stamped and pre-coloured the images. And obviously you can use your offcuts, which you've got here, to do that. So you can get everything out of what 2 sheets of Whisper White thick. And obviously in some grey card and a little bit of red card, because I've used a little bit of red as well. Okay, so that's those. Again, just think about how we're going to put these in. So it's going to go in, we're going to be looking at it that way. So that is going to be, I want the orientation to go like this. So the feet are facing me, or are this way here. So they're going the same way as the pattern on this one. So that's that one. And final one. Oh, do I need to get some new glue? Can always squeeze a little bit more glue out. Just need to give it a good old shake. And that's going to then go on like so. Good. All right, so I'm just going to change over glues because that's starting to go upside down a little bit. So now that you've got these bits here, what we want to do is we want to just let those dry up for a second, and then we just want to now stick on the inside panel, because this is now where it's going to be easier to stick this on. So I've already gone ahead and I've already gone and stamped. So I've used the Pampered Pets Stamp Set here, and I've used this lovely cat right here with the cat bowl and some little hearts. That's what I've done with that. So I've cut that one out using the Tasteful Labels dies. So these Tasteful Labels dies are great. These are going to be a firm favourite of ours this year. Some lovely banners in this one here. You've got some lovely edging to it as well, so some stitched edging, some scalloped edging. So you've got this nice little banner here. And even the ones which are, there's no stitching to it, have got this indentation, so it's embossed along the edge lines here as well. So it even just gives a little bit of detail on those plain ones. I just love it. So this is a product number for these ones here. Tasteful Labels, firm favourite of ours. So this is what I've cut these ones out. And I have cut it out on the Whisper White, and then I've coloured it with the blends. So the blends which I've used, so I've stamped it using Memento, and the blends which I've used for ours, quite a few blends, but I've used greys and blacks. So I've got the dark basic black and the light basic black, and I've also got the smoky slate, and that's how I've coloured this one in here. I've actually used a pretty peacock for the bowl, and it will be Poppy Parade for the hearts up there. And then I've got this one right here, so I've stamped again in Memento, and I've been using crumb cake, and I've also been using soft suede to give a little bit of the texture and the detail on the cat here. So those are the blends which have been used. If you are using blends, you will need to stamp in Tuxedo Black, okay? Otherwise you will get bleeding. If you use the stays on, you'll get bleeding when you do it, okay? So I've cut those out using the Tasteful Labels, stamped, or die cut then stamped. And I have also then done I've done the coordinating colour in the Real Red, which coordinates with the papers right here. And then I've just stuck it on ever so slightly, and I've just offset it, okay, like that, just to give it a little bit of a red halo going round. You can see it there a little bit better, okay, and like that. So I've done that on both of those, okay. So then what I want to do now, obviously, and the pets stamp set as well comes with the pet dies. So you can cut the dogs out and you can cut the cats out, and you've also got these lovely little paw prints right here to make some nice edging. So this one here now, so I'm going to now just grab some glue, and I'm just going to stick some glue onto this panel this side, and onto this panel this side here. And then that's just going to then get stuck. So again, I'm just going to eyeball it, and that's just going to get stuck onto that panel, like so. So this is how we're decorating on the inside of those cubes without going all fingers and thumbs and everywhere, okay? So that makes that a little bit easier. And then that then pops up, and then that sentiment then pops up as well at the same time. So like that, okay? So good. I will come to the top part in a second. So that part is just going to get stuck on to the top bit there. So I'm going to do that after I've done these bits here. So what you want to do now is you want to now pop this in like this. And we want to pop a little bit of glue on this panel, this little tab right here. And we will then stick that in like that, push it up against the ends right there, and then stick that down. If we fold that over and push it up and try and push it, as long as we try and push it to the edge and up as high as we can go. Good. Just let that sit up just a little bit longer, and we can do exactly the same for the other side as well. Like that. So good. And that's like that, and that's like that. We can just manipulate these a little bit. That's the one. So, and that's why I've cut off a little bit extra on this. So I've made it 6.9. If anything, one of them can be 6.9, and then one of them should really be 6.8. If I'm going to do this again, because you might just need another little bit of another millimetre on there, because obviously it's not going right away to the edge, so you're losing a little bit either side when we're sticking it on the inside, so which is why you just need to compensate for that. So maybe if you're doing this again here, you can probably trim those off to either 6.8 millimetres, or even one at 6.9 and one at 6.8. Okay, so that's that. And then what we want to then do is we then want to pop some glue on the inner tab on this one right here. We bring that in and then we tuck that in underneath like we did, and we fold it flat like so. That will then stick in place quite nicely. Just manipulate it and hold it in place where you want it to go. Hold that down, and we do exactly the same. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on the inner tab here, and bring it over, tuck. So we're just going to tuck that in underneath. And then hold it down where we want it, so manipulate it whilst it's wet and manipulate that in place. Okay, just hold it down for a second or two just to do it. So whilst you're doing that is then probably then when you could then be colouring, you could be colouring this part right here, just so that sets up. But that there is now our cube card. Obviously, yeah, just need to make sure that I glue that in a little bit longer because it's not quite set. So let's just hold on a second. I will hold this for a little bit. I'm going to fast forward now whilst this sets up. So good, there we go. So that's now stuck there. Okay, now what we want to do is we just want to stick some glue on this tab right here, and then that can then sit in there quite nicely. So again, just eyeball it so it's in the center. Like so. And then it folds flat, so you can get yourself an envelope. So this is measuring at, it is a 14 centimetre, so 5.5 inches by 5.5 and 14. Okay, so you'll need yourself like a 6x6 envelope, folds flat for postage. So it's quite chunky, so it will need to probably go through as a large letter, but then when it's opened up, it then is a card which I will just bring the camera up. Which is then going to pop out. So that's that. So that's our slightly different variation on the 3D Cube pop-up card box. How cute is that? And I just love that paper. I just love this stamp set. Obviously, being animal fans ourselves, being cat lovers, then this is that. But obviously, I just love it because you've got your dogs on there as well, and the dogs are really cute. Look like they're having so much fun. This one's chasing the mouse here, giving himself a good old scratch, just sort of like, oh, just really, really content and just eating all the cream. So there we go. That's that, and then that just pops up like so. That there is our card for the global stamping video hop for this month of June. Obviously, be sure to check out, if you want to purchase any of these items, you can purchase them from our online shop. I hope you like it. Please feel free to leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. If you've got any questions, let us know how this, let us know, and we will do our best to answer. Remember, like and subscribe to our channel for any future updates and videos which we do. Thank you for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye for now. Bye.